What's going on, everybody? You made it to the weekend. This is episode 51. We've passed the halfway to the century mark, and we're on the back end of it. Oh my God, you made it though. Well, by the time you guys are listening to this, you guys will have made it. We're recording this on Thursday night this week because we got stuff planned for Friday night, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to do the show, so we don't want to miss out. We already had a couple weeks that we didn't get a chance to record, so we want to make sure that we are going to keep you company for the entire weekend. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about week 3. We do have a special guest tonight. Mistakes were made, and you'll get it here in a second why I say that. But before we get started, guys, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter at @theblown_save and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget, you still can reach out to us, guys, on theblown_save@gmail.com. I've had a few people reach out to us, and it's been nice to hear some good comments. After last week's show, I had a few text messages from a few fans out there, so I do appreciate it, guys. You guys were hitting me up, going, "Hey, man, glad to hear you guys are back. I know you guys were gone for a couple weeks, but we are back." What do we got going on here? Oh, first off, foremost, I was about to start without doing anything, but I got to bring in the one, the only Mr. Compadre himself, Mr. Artie Casas. What's going on, baby?
Not much, just on a Thursday, hanging out, living the dream.
There you go. And today we have a interesting guest, I guess. A special special guest. His handle is "My Steaks Were Made," but I just call him my little Platano. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Can you not read? Mistakes were made,
sir.
It
says my
clearly.
Steaks were
Clearly, you
made.
already made a mistake.
Well, letting you on here,
well
I think
done.
we may have already.
How about you? Medium well is the way I like my steaks.
I like mine medium
Well,
rare.
Mistakes were made again. Medium well. What's wrong with you, Artie?
Yeah, man. Red, and me don't get along.
No, the redder the better, sir.
No, thank you.
I want it rare. I want it. Yeah. I want it to fight me a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah. My teeth are. When
I want it to talk to me.
That's
all right.
It.
Yeah,
you want it to go.
I don't like teams that wear red, and I don't like to eat things that are a little too red.
There you go. I get screwed either way. But it has happened again, guys. Artie, you want to go ahead and take this first part?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my compadre Brent has fallen for Twitter bait again. Another fake spam account reported that LeBron James was suspended for the rest of the year and playoffs for promoting violence on social media. First thing I thought and I checked was the Twitter handle. Lesson of the day, compa. Okay, because this is 2 weeks in a row that you were like, "Did you see this? Breaking news!" And I sent it right back to you. Always check your sources, compa.
Hey, but it's not like I posted it and was like,
no, you're right. Imagine.
You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So it's not. It wasn't one of those. Okay, at least it's
yeah. It says by Sports Center, but then the Twitter handle says Ultra Weed Hater. I was like, "Oh, come on, Brent. Oh,
got him." It is what it is, man. Hey, I didn't post it. It was just between you and me, and I was like, "Hey, did you see this?" Because I was at work. I was busy. I didn't really take the time to look at the handle, whatever. But whatever, man. Whatever. All right. It is what it is. We could all fall victim to it, right? Let's always check our sources, and let's not let this happen again. So. I won't make it a third time. I promise. Almost, maybe.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to make a little jar. Every time I find a news story that is fake, I got to put $1 in it, and then at the end of the year, we donate it to like a charity or something.
That'd be funny.
We'd have like $3 right now, man.
All right. Yeah.
Since Evan's here. Why don't we get kicked off with the bad news Yankees?
They won today. They won today.
They won one? So they're like 3-42?
Today.
Yeah.
How bad are the Bronx Bombers?
Sounds about right.
How bad are the Bronx Bombers look
the
lately?
Bronx Bummers right now,
yeah,
dude.
They are
awful.
definitely the bums.
The Bronx Bummers. I like it.
Yeah.
They're not hitting. They're not playing defense. They're sometimes pitching.
They're so bad. They're so bad that their own fans are booing them after they hit a home run or when they strike out Or they're even throwing baseballs onto the field because I don't know. I mean, of all the fans out there, right? Yankees fans weren't the ones I would think that would be throwing baseballs and stuff onto the field during a game. I mean, granted, I don't think that they expect to be this bad, but still. Evan, do you have any response to this bullshit?
I'm not one of those types of fans, so I don't appreciate what they're doing.
So what you're saying is you're a fair weather fan, and so it doesn't matter.
No, I don't. I wouldn't do that. I'm even if they're losing, I'm still gonna watch them and love them. But I wouldn't do that. No, that's stupid and childish.
It is, guys. If you guys are out there, no matter where you are, never throw anything onto the field. Let alone throwing, well, except for our friend who threw trash cans on the field when the Astros were playing the Angels. But still, that's cool. But nothing to hurt anybody with. Like I know I forget who they were playing against, but they hit one of the players and they were just throwing baseballs onto the field. It was just ridiculous to have to be or to have to watch that kind of situation. I think it was a small black eye on the Yankees organization. They're bad enough as it is right now. I can't speak too much better, I guess, too much more highly about my team, but at least they're not that bad, and the fans aren't throwing things onto the field. So,
yeah, man, it's just disappointing. I didn't care if it was the Yankees or who. It's just in baseball, like there's no need for that, especially if you're the home team. Like that's just bad, that is just bad news, man. I don't like seeing that, and I was like, oh, come on, Evan. So, like, I was telling them, when the boos happened, dude, they booed Aaron Judge after he hit a home run earlier in the game, and then he struck out later in the game, and they were booing the man. This is the same crowd that says, I'll rise for the Judge whenever he freaking hits a home run, but then they boo his ass whenever he strikes out. That's like, terrible. Man, dude, that's bad. That is bad, But, again, that's part of sports. And Evan kind of mentioned, he's like, the Dodgers fans have done that too, blah, blah, blah. Bro, but not to a superstar, like one of our own superstars like that in the prime of his career. What do you think, Evan? You're a Yankees fan. Okay, me and you talked about this earlier. The Yankees, like everybody, has some weaknesses, right? They're slow. They're slow. They don't run well. They don't hit for high averages, and they don't play defense. Okay, but they should have power pitching.
No. They're not playing defense this year. They played good defense last year.
Yeah? Okay. Hold on. No, sir. We're talking about now, though. We're not talking about years in the past.
I'm still talking.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here, because I know you had your chance, and I stayed quiet, and now came my chance, right? Okay. So, name one Gold Glover on the Yankees team last year or this year. I'm waiting.
There wasn't any.
Exactly. So they're not playing defense, bro, because they're not playing defense. They can't play. They're not good. They're known for power pitching and getting strikeouts. And when their power pitching isn't working, that's where they're struggling. So I personally I feel like once their pitching comes back and becomes that power pitching, they're going to be okay. They have legit arms, and they're also really home run dependent, man, because realistically, other than DJ LeMahieu, who else is going to hit 300 on that team? Aaron Judge? I don't know, man. He's a big dude in his strike zone. They play with his strike zone too much, those umpires. And I kind of feel bad for him. And I think that's what's going to stop him from being a consistent 300 hitter. It's going to be like high 280s, 290s. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, they don't have anybody else. Glaber, I guess. But Glaber has been shown to, hey, man, maybe that 1 year was a fluke, dude. And this is really who he is. Because, I mean, he's doing that. And so is Sanchez. And
but Sanchez has been doing it consistently now, and this is his last chance.
Right. Well, Glaber's only had 3 years in the league, and only one of those years was good. So,
yeah. Well, and last year was a shortened season, so he came in last season out of shape, and he admitted like he screwed up last year. He could have done so much better.
And let me guess, right? One of Brent's saying he came into this season the best shape of his life, right?
I wouldn't say the best shape, but he came into this season in better shape.
They always say that, though. Like anytime an athlete has an off year, or anything, right? Oh, like Pujols. Oh, I've been the best shape I've ever. Bro, you've been in the league 22 years, bro. There's no way you're in the best shape of your career right now. Like, I hate it when athletes do that. Like, oh, bro, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my career. Bro, you're 42. You know what I mean? Like, this is a 20. When you're like 26 is when you're in the best shape of your career. But come on, man.
I mean, Vlad Guerrero Jr. He dropped a lot of weight.
He dropped like 20 pounds.
So that's like a dude. You're like, all right, him and Jesus Aguilar too. That dude dropped like a whole man off of him. You know, so those are like two that you're like, okay, yeah, you could clearly see they really worked at it. You know what I'm saying? But when I don't know, man, it just seems to be like it's when dudes had a really bad year that all of a sudden they came back in the best shape of their lives. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but Evan, here's my thing to you. Here's my question. What's it going to take to get the... I gave you what I think it's going to take, right? I want to hear what you kind of think from a fan's perspective. What's it going to take for the Yankees to kind of get right again?
They do need to be... For one, they haven't been as patient at the plate as usual, and they're swinging at pitches that they shouldn't at, and they're taking pitches that they should be swinging at. This is what I've been noticing when I've been watching the games recently. The starting pitching has been hit or miss. I mean, Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole, but the rest of the rotation right now is kind of iffy. The bullpen's been spot on, which, you know, that's been the case for the last several years.
Right.
And the entire team as a whole, they're just not hitting. They're not hitting in the clutch. They're not hitting when there's nobody on. That's it. And I think it's just one of the things. They're having a bad streak at the beginning of the year. I think every team goes through slumps. I mean, look at the Athletics. They went 1-7 to start the year, and they won like 10 in a row.
They won 10 in a row. That's right. To take over. We'll get into that in a second. You're right. Very right.
So
okay.
I just think
this
team is too good. This team is too good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They made the playoffs last year. You know, and got eliminated in a very great series by Tampa Bay, right? I believe.
Yeah, took it to 5 games.
Series.
You know.
Yeah, man, that was a great series. Great series. Yeah, I think they're good. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll find a way. I mean, like me and you were talking off air before. Every team goes through slumps. They're just going through it at the beginning of the season. You know?
Yeah.
So, all right.
I always tell my brother, it's in baseball. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. More often than not. Because
for sure.
Lots of teams start off bad, but they get hot towards the middle of the year and then towards the end, and then they
just
get
ride
a hot
that
streak
wave,
and make
right?
the playoffs. Yeah. It happens all the time.
For sure. Yeah, look at the Nationals, right? They got hot. Dude, the Nationals, I believe they had like a 1.9% chance of making the playoffs at one point in June, the year they won it all. And then they made the playoffs. They snuck into the playoffs, eliminated the Dodgers in 5 in the first round on the walk-off home run. And then they won the whole thing, you know? And I think it was one of those that everybody was cheering for them to beat the Asterisks, you know?
Oh, my God. I thoroughly enjoyed that World Series. And it's been a while since I enjoyed some playoff baseball.
Right.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was, for sure. All right. So now from one bad team to another. They're not that bad yet.
First off, and
we're going to hear in the background.
Okay.
What happened?
I hear stuff in the background.
What do you hear in the background?
That's my phone. I'm sorry.
It's terrible. We're like, what? The Angels were nowhere to be.
Dead people.
The Angels were nowhere to be found today, on or off the field. The Houston Halo matchup was only shown today on YouTube. It was the game of the week. Before we get into where they are and how bad the game was, especially today, what are your guys' thoughts on the games being played on like YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that? Do you think that's good? It's moving with the times, or do you kind of enjoy where where your stuff's supposed to be played? Like usually we'd watch it on Fox Sports West or whatever Bally Sports West it is now. Should they show it at the same time on either on both online and there, or where are you guys at with all this?
Everybody has access to YouTube, right?
Yeah, pretty much everybody, I would say. Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, I guess. You know, it's not like I'm really going to be watching them. You know, I mean, Yeah, I really don't watch the Angels. I really don't watch too many teams. I just watch the Dodgers, you know what I'm saying? But I check in on teams and stuff like that. That's what I like MLB Network for, that they do all those live check-ins, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. They must be trying to target a different audience. I did see, and this would have been a perfect time for that stat, but I saw that the baseball as a whole in the past, 20 days or something like that, has had like 7 all-time high days for watching baseball or something like that. Like, they had a really interesting stat where, like, watching baseball is an all-time high.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was really interesting. That was real good. And I think it has to do, me personally, I think it has a lot to do with the whole let the kids play type of thing. You know, like, there's a lot of more excitement to baseball, which is not really my style, but, you know, a lot of bravado in baseball now where everybody's, you know, let's see the bat flip that someone does today, you know, hitting a home run for the first time or whatever. So I think it has a lot to do with that, you know?
Right on. I mean, I'm okay with it. I just wish they would play it at the same time. I mean, I guess they're trying to focus in the audience to that, but that is actually a really great stat that we're more and more people are watching. At least in the last week or so, they're watching more baseball. Yeah. It may be a trickle down effect from last year where we didn't have baseball, we didn't have really any sports, and now everybody's like, man, because it was like it was a quick sprint, right? So we only got a little chunk of baseball. Mm-hmm. And now that baseball's back for the full season, everybody's like, oh, man, like, we got baseball back. Like, let's watch as much baseball as we can. Hopefully, the trend continues, and baseball goes back to being America's pastime as it was in the years of yesteryear, and gets that kind of respect and that response again. So, hopefully.
Hey, Evan. Speaking of that, I think it kind of triggered a little question that I want to ask you. Do you think that this would be happening with the Yankees if all the fans were let in the stadium, not just like some of them? Meaning, like maybe it is. I said, do you think this would be happening with the Yankees if they let all the fans in the stadium and not just some of them? Meaning, like, you know, what if it's just like the spoiled, actually rich people kind of thing getting into the games? And they really don't know the games, like, you know, like the people that could afford the cheap tickets. Those people usually really know the games. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, do you think that this would still be happening with the Yankees if everybody was allowed in the stadium? They'd kind of police each other and be like, "Hey, man, you better chill."
I have no idea.
What do you think? I don't know.
Don't they have the ones over there in Yankee Stadium? The fans, they're called the bleacher creatures.
Yes.
Right.
Do you think they would be policing over there, going like, "Hey, man, what the hell are you doing? I'm walking here."
I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I actually do think they would be. It'd be like, hey, man, that's our team, bro. You either take off that jersey and get a step in or what, you know? Because, I mean, that's really unlike Yankee fans, you know? If you were telling me the Phillies, who have booed Santa Claus or whatever, you know, like, I get it. No, not the Boston Red Sox.
You don't think the Boston's been ornery? Who was that team back in the day? I know my dad's gonna be yelling up and down right now when I say this, but who's that team back in the day? They were doing really bad, and they had like a 5-cent beer day, and then all of a sudden they started throwing beers into the field because the team was doing so bad. Does anybody remember that?
I want to
5-cent beer days.
That was a minor league team. I don't remember it being a major league team. I remember it being like a minor.
You remember it being a minor league team?
Yeah, I could have sworn it was a minor league team. But if anything, maybe the Mets would be my guess. If I had to take a guess and like just a wild guess out there, I really think it might have been the Mets. But I'm just taking a guess. I think I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that. I just don't remember it being a pro team, and if it was, it had to have been in the 80s, bro, because 5-cent beers nowadays with inflation.
Oh my God, I've been. I'll have 30, please.
You'd be dead, Brent. You'd be dead. Let's just be honest here.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into what I know Artie is going to be smiling about right now. My third place Angels. We kind of touched on them a couple minutes ago, but how the mighty Halos have fallen. The Angels are now 9-7, actually 9-8, going 5-6 over their last few
11 games.
11
games.
Can't do math.
Purple, orange, that's why Martians don't wear hats. The A's have been on a tear though with a 10-game winning streak. Jesus Christ, and they're sitting in first place tie at 12-7 with the Mariners.
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, the Angels are in third place right now. Jiminy Crickets Almighty.
Just ahead
what is
of
going
the Texas
on?
Rangers.
Just
ahead.
barely.
And I remember Brent on opening day sent me like a meme that said the Mariners were eliminated from the playoffs or something. After day one.
The A's are an 11-game win streak.
They won today?
11-game win streak. They won today.
My
thought
They didn't play today. They didn't play today.
They won the last 10. Oh, well, I don't know. I just saw their last 10 games. It said 10-0. So
yeah,
they might be
I'm looking at the app right now, and they've won 11 in a row.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, I just look at their little 10 games. Does that make sense?
Hey, but who cares? Houston's at the bottom. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's right. Right, Brent?
Yeah.
Three teams are coming out of that division to make the playoffs.
No, I don't think Seattle's going to. This is it's an anomaly for Seattle. They're going to fall off.
Yeah, I agree too.
They lost James Paxton already. Come on.
Yeah. But that dude hasn't pitched well in 5 years.
Hey, he had one okay season with the Yankees.
No, he did not. He had one great season with the Mariners. I'm going to look at the stats.
No, he did. He had one great season with the Mariners, and that's it.
And I said he had an okay season with the Yankees.
He didn't have
define okay.
Yeah.
In 2019, he had
one good game.
Yeah, one good game for sure. What would you define a good season? So a good season I define as under a 4 ERA and double-digit wins. Okay, I don't even know his stats, and I'm going to look at it right now. But that's what I define as a good season. Not a great season, but a good season. So with the Yankees, best ERA he had was okay. Yeah, all right. I'll give him that. I stand corrected. 3.82 ERA with 15 wins. That is a good season. I wouldn't even call that. That's a Cy Young season for the Angels. Let me tell you.
Dude, why? Why do you even gotta go there?
Because it's fun. But no, seriously. I mean, a sub 4 ERA with 15 wins is a good season, man. That's a really good season.
Yeah.
Dude, and he didn't have. You know what? That's actually the best season he's had in his career. If you ask me, because I know he went 12-5 one year with the 2.9 ERA with the Mariners, and the ERA is great and stuff like that, but he only had 12 wins. Granted, he was pitching for Seattle, but man, I want to say that year was probably his best year. 3.82, 15 wins, 186 strikeouts, not his career high, but second career high. But not bad, but he's damaged goods, so he's a dude that's, like you said, an anomaly.
I feel bad for him because, he got hurt last year too. Mm-hmm. So he didn't really pitch very much. But then this year, first game of the season, I think he gets hurt. It's like, oh, poor guy. And he's got good stuff. He's got really good stuff.
He does. I agree.
But whatever, it is what it is. The Halos lost, and that's so sad for Brent.
And it gets worse. But it gets worse.
Yeah.
Trout got hit by a pitch on his left elbow and had to leave the game. I guess that protective padding didn't work, huh?
He got hit in a spot where I guess the padding wasn't as padding. But they did. I was catching part of the game today, and one of the things I caught, they were saying it was a right or left elbow contusion. So it should only be a day or two.
Just a small boo-boo.
Yeah,
it's a boo-boo.
He may miss a game, 2 at the most, but then he'll be back in the lineup. So we don't have anything to worry about there, which is good.
All right.
Also in the game today, Kurt Suzuki got hit in the elbow, and then one of the Astros players got hit as well. So everybody's getting hit that day. Jesus Christ, or today.
That's great news. What's it going to take, Brent? What's it going to take to get your shit together? Because you're about to go under 500. You might not see it again.
What's it gonna take? Quintana to
trading Mike Trout.
Quintana to be traded away or to be given away.
Trading Mike Trout would totally change the franchise.
Anyways, he ain't going anywhere, bro. It's a no trade clause. He ain't going anywhere. So stop talking about it.
So he's already 29 years old.
Quintana needs to go.
He's at the cusp of his career.
Bro, are you gonna let me talk here? I'm not letting you come on. I'm gonna put you on timeout here in a second, bro. I have the power.
Sorry.
Get rid of Quintana. I hate that pickup, and he's pitched terribly his 2 starts.
Yeah.
And just get rid of him. We got a guy, Chris Rodriguez, who they've been pulling out of the pen.
Good.
He's got fire for an arm, cannon for an arm.
That dude.
And he's been brought in 2 of Quintana's games. When Quintana gets blasted after the 3rd or 4th inning, he gets brought in the game and goes 4 or 5 innings, and then you know what I mean. So it's like at that point, just pull him, just get rid of Quintana, just fucking put him in the bullpen and forget about him for the rest of the season. Bring in bring up Chris Rodriguez, take him out of the pen, get him into the freaking rotation. And you're going to see some things happen there. He's got an electric arm, really, really, really powerful fastball. High 90s, low. I think high 90. I don't think he's hit 100, but he's really high 90, 98, 99 right there. Pitching's the big thing. I'm sorry. We got plenty of hits. I mean, if you score 5 runs, you're supposed to win a game.
Not if you're the Angels.
Exactly, because our pitching gives up 7. So I mean, you can't win that way. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work that way. And for a minute there, the Angels hadn't lost any series, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Artie said that, we go on a little losing streak here. So,
well, I mean, there was only 2 series in the season, so
it was 3. Thank you, but whatever.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
It was a 2-game series against I forget who, and we split it.
You know who the only major league team is that hasn't lost a series yet, right?
Tampa Bay.
I like it. I like the guess. Try again.
No, it's the Dodgers. Come on.
A little closer at home. That's right. A little closer at home. But no, Brent, so I put in here on my stats. Right now, Mike Trout is the greatest player, to never win a playoff game in baseball history. Would you not say, Evan? Would you think that?
Oh, no, absolutely. He's the greatest player on the wrong team right now.
And I'm talking in history. Greatest player to never win a playoff game. Not a series, a game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And who knows when he's going to make it back?
I don't know, man. It's not. It's going to be looking like a while.
Brent's going to cry now. Brent's going to cry. We don't want him to cry.
And Rendon, man. Woo, what a signing, right? Am I right, Brent? How's he doing?
Is he slumping?
No, he's slumping on his couch because he's hurt.
Oh, really?
He's hurt, yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry, Brent.
Yeah,
I'm not really following the Angels, so I can't,
Whatever, man. Whatever. All right, look. It's still a young season, like Evan said.
Mm-hmm.
There's still plenty of season to play. And the
Mariners...
Tell
Evan how many games you thought they'd win this year?
Was it 84, I said?
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that means they'd be over 500, right?
Yes, I said that a million damn times. You son of a...
They were projected to win 84?
No, I said...
That's what... No.
Oh.
That's funny. Man, this guy's a comedian.
We gotta have you on more often. Not.
Oh, really? Did you just say not? Way to age yourself, dude.
Listen here, bro.
That's funny. But I mean, pitching's a thing for you guys, Brad. You guys are good enough hitting. Defense is all right,
Yeah.
But the pitching, man. Hey, how's Cobb been? Has he? I know you picked him up, and that was the dude I was kind of eyeballing and picked up afterwards.
His last, not today, but the last start, he fanned 10 over 6 innings, and he gave up, I think, 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah, don't give me the homer stats. How did he do today?
Today he didn't do as well. He in the 3rd inning he couldn't find a strike zone. To be honest with you. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you got your on days and your off days. I was hoping he'd have another day like he did his first time out, but maybe with the that missing that start against the Twins and getting moved around, maybe messed with his head a little bit or whatever. So we'll see in the next outing how he does. But I see potential there for a back end of the rotation guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
He's there. It's just a matter of can he make it happen again. And I'm hoping, like I said, getting bumped because of the Twins series that got canceled or postponed because of the COVID stuff going on with the Twins. I'm hoping that just kind of threw him off. He had too much time off or whatever it might have been. And And then they threw Ohtani in there to pitch instead of him, and they pushed him back to today's game. So it was a lot of moving around. I'm hoping that kind of messed with him a little bit, and I hope now he pitched. He's got 5-day rotation, and he gets back in there and he settles down again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Ohtani.
What's up? What do you want to talk about Ohtani?
Ohtani.
Tell me about Shoelace.
Shoelace?
Yeah.
He's a really good hitter. I think he's an awesome hitter. And I'm happy that you guys got him. And I'm happy that I got him too on my fantasy team.
Evan would love to hit that.
I would totally. Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Yeah,
that Shoelace. Mm-hmm.
Evan, would you rather take Ohtani the hitter or Ohtani the pitcher?
Right now, the hitter.
Okay. Brent, do you need...
My team isn't hitting for shit.
I think the Angels need Ohtani the pitcher more than they need Ohtani the hitter.
Yes. We need Ohtani.
Oh, absolutely.
100 times over.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a pretty damn good hitter. He's doing very well. I agree. Is he an all-star right now?
Right now, no.
He's getting there.
He's close, but he's not an all-star right now. There's no way.
No?
No.
I don't know. I think it's close. It's close.
I didn't say he wasn't, but I didn't say he was not going to be there or he's not close. He's almost there.
I think a manager might put him on there just to be like, the first all-star player to pitch and hit in a game. And I don't know if that's true. I'm just kind of saying that. But who's the last all-star to pitch and hit in a game? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'd be yeah. Because, they normally have so many pitchers and they throw everybody out there that pitchers don't hit,
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
I'd be pretty awesome. Do you know who the managers are? I haven't seen anything.
The Dodgers. The Dodgers, Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
And what's the dude's name? The one from Tampa Bay? It's always the World Series, Brent. Whoever wins the World Series gets to manage the All-Star game.
Ah, gotcha.
Whoever makes it to the World Series gets to manage the All-Star game the next year. And of course, they pick a whole bunch of their players to be on the team and stuff like that, They do, and I hate that about it. I feel like there needs to be a regulation about that. I think the Yankees put in, some scrub one time. A dude that wasn't even a starter on their own team and they gave him, an all-star bid one year. Who was that? Do you remember, Evan? It was a utility, a super role player for them, and he made the all-star team, and the Yankees picked him. You remember that or no, when that happened?
I think I do.
Yeah. He wasn't a bad player, but he wasn't an all-star caliber player, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. But I remember it was some dude from the Yankees. I'm trying to blank on who it was. All right, next topic here, Brent. Bring it up.
What do we got here? What is the Padres?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Padres.
All right, the Padres series last weekend might have been amongst the best of April matchups that you're gonna see in a while. Who knows, right? We got a whole rest of the season, but right now, that's actually been a really good series. It really did feel like, already mentioned this before, it felt like Big Brother versus Little Brother. With them playing the Dodgers and stuff like that. It got kind of heated a little bit, and nothing crazy happened.
But it was good heated.
It was good.
It was good heated.
Yeah, we haven't seen that kind of baseball, that kind of rivalry between the two teams in a while. I know it kind of heated up last year at I'll say towards the end, but last quick season, it felt like at the end of it, right? But it felt like that's where it started, and it continues to heat up with all the additions the Padres have made. It feels like, man, dude, these guys are getting scrappy, and they want to come after the Dodgers more than anything.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being part of the Big Brother? I guess you want to call it that, Artie. How do you feel about Little Brother over there trying to get scrappy and come after you?
Well, you know what? I thought that was a great series. You know what I'm saying? On here, I put on there, the Dodgers haven't lost by more than 3 runs all year long, dude. Anytime you could keep it within 3 runs, you give yourself a shot, man.
Yeah.
Bloop and a blast. Bloop and a blast gives you a chance. Right now, dude, the Dodgers were down 2-0. What'd they do? They hit 2 back-to-back home runs, tied the game. Now they're chasing 3-2 in the 8th, but they just hit one and it hit the foul line, clearly, and they got a runner at first base, it looks like. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, first and second? Looks like first and second and no outs. So here come the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just going to give you a chance. They're scrappy. And it's not like a lot of people are like, well, yeah, it's the Dodgers, blah, blah, blah. Bro, they only got one person hitting over 300 on the team, Justin Turner. And that's it. Like, nobody else is hitting over 300. Nobody has double-digit home runs. Like, our team leader in RBIs, I want to say, is McKinstry and, like, Turner, I believe. I think they were tied last I had seen. So it's like those role players, they're just kind of doing their job. And they're playing spectacular defense, you know, at times. But they don't make a whole lot of bonehead plays. So, again, that's going to give you a chance. I really liked it. I felt like, again, like you said, big brother versus little brother. And it was fun. It was fun to watch that series from right from the beginning. Both teams were trading blows with scoring all the way till extra innings, and then all of a sudden the Dodgers kind of pulled away and really pulled away because then they brought in their second baseman to come and close out the game. But I believe it ended up being like 12-4 or 10-4 or something like that. I think was the final score.
11-6, I think it was.
Yeah, 11-6. There you go, something like that. But I mean that, and me and you haven't talked about it. Like that score was not indicative of what the game was going like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that was a real good game. And then game 2 was even, I would say, just as epic. More so the way it finished. And let me set up the scenario for you. Right? To me, this has to be, because of the scenario, one of the best catches I've seen in a while. Right? Besides, I think Bellinger's home run where he robbed Tatis. In the playoffs last year was another hell of a catch. And then Betts robbed somebody else, I think a Brave, from a home run as well, too, in the playoffs. But, so the situation was the Padres were chasing 2 in the 9th inning. They had second and third and 2 outs. And Tommy Pham came up to hit a sinking line drive, bro. It looked like a gapper easily. And Pham, he's a pretty solid player, man. So he might be thinking triple out of the box, right? And it looks like there's no way we have even any chance at catching that ball. Dude, Mookie was in dead center, starts running all the way towards right center field, dives and kind of gets his hand underneath the ball right before it hits the ground and is able to get his other hand and just kind of keep it in the palm right there for the game-ending catch to dive, to like save the game. And game finished right there. And they reviewed the play, but it was obvious that he caught it. When they asked him about the play afterwards, to Mookie, he said, "I blacked out. I can't even remember it." Dude, that's pretty crazy when you're just in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You don't even think about it. You're just like, dude, if I don't catch this ball, this game's tied and we might lose. I have a feeling that's kind of was like his initial thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after that, your instincts just take over. And that dude, let me tell you, that's why they pay him the big bucks. That's why they pay him the big bucks.
He's over there. I got it. Got it. Oh, shit. I got
it.
Right?
I was really surprised. I forgot Mookie was even playing center field, to be honest, until he made that catch. I'm like, oh, damn, Mookie's playing center. That's right, because Cody's hurt. I don't think Cody Bellinger makes that play because he's left-handed. You know what I'm saying? I think it helped that he was right-handed and that it was hit to his glove side. Because you having to scoop it like that, backhanded, on the run is really difficult. So I don't think it happens if it's like Cody Bellinger playing out there in the outfield.
Interesting.
Yep.
How long is Bellinger out for?
You know what? He took batting practice today. So it's still kind of up in there. He's just trying to, it's like a day-by-day type of thing. He's already been on the IL for about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, but it's just one of those, he's just waiting for it to heal. And I think every week they kind of go back and check it again to see how it's doing with the MRI. Or, well, I don't know. It's a hairline fracture. So that they would have to do an x-ray, right?
Yeah.
MRI. MRI is for ligaments.
No, for a fracture, just an X-ray.
Yeah, for sure.
Get an MRI if it's a muscular issue.
Yeah.
Or nerve issue.
Right. So, yeah, man. So I'm happy they're 14-4 and second, third, 1 out. And AJ Pollock, who I think went yard already. Not sure if he went yard or not, is up. So we'll see how that goes right now. Sack fly is all we want.
There's not as much pressure. You guys won it last year. So.
I agree, and I had told Brent that's why I think they're just playing a little looser. Like, all right, this is fun again, like not as tight.
Yeah, Angels don't know how to play loose.
No, we don't know. We're not allowed to play loose.
No. Yeah, all they do is they play not to lose, which is how the Yankees are playing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, who was the last team to win back-to-back World Series?
Back to back? No, it was not the Yankees.
Has there ever been a team to win back to back?
Oh yeah.
What are you talking? The Yankees three-peated.
I just said the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
what's your
you
guess,
said
Evan?
the last team to do it back to back.
To win it back-to-back. Yeah, go for it, Evan. I want to hear your guess.
I'm just trying to go back to all the teams that have won. They won in 2004.
My dad's screaming his head off right now, trying to will us to understand what he's saying right now in his head.
I already know, and I don't even have to look up the stats or anything. Come on, Evan.
I think it's the Yankees.
It is the Yankees.
Goddamn,
Yeah,
I was right.
It's the Yankees. No, I was really trying to think if there was in the last since they won.
Hold on. I don't get to do this very often. Artie, was I right?
You're right.
I got one.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, it was the Yankees.
I don't know why. I really thought there was another team that won back to back.
The Giants went. They went. What's the word I'm looking for here? They went every other year, 3 years in a row, or 3 off years in a row.
Yeah. See, I was thinking about the Giants, but that's right. They won every even year, right? They won
something like that.
Every odd year, no? Something like that. They were always
okay. All right. How about this? Before the Yankees, what was the last team to win a back-to-back? And I know the answer to this.
You do? Give me a hint. American League or National League?
Oh! Before the Yankees, I'm gonna go with the.
I think I know who it is. I'm gonna say it's an American League team, Evan.
It is an American League team.
And I'm actually torn. I'm actually torn between two teams because I can't remember which one was the last one part to them.
Was that? Is it in the AL East?
Just say a damn team, Brent.
The Boston
you don't
Red
know.
Sox.
No.
Damn.
You know what? I think the Red Sox did win them back to back. Fuck, they might have been the last team.
No. They won it in 04, 07, and 2013.
Yeah, but I'm talking about way back.
All right. Hey, the Cardinals didn't win back to back. That's making me think now too.
No, they did not.
Okay, so my guess is I'm pretty sure I can't remember. I think it was the Blue Jays that won it last.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
In 1991 and 1992.
Yeah, because I was torn between them and the Twins.
Yeah,
but I
thought, or either the Twins or the Athletics.
Did the Athletics win back to back?
I don't think they won back to back.
I don't remember them winning back to back.
Sure?
I don't remember them winning back to back either.
Yankees, Red Sox.
That's it. Now I'm Googling it.
Yankees, Florida.
Google it, bud.
Yankees. Yeah, it was the Blue Jays that did win it back to back. They were the last ones. I just couldn't remember who was first because they were right next to each other, I believe. Let's see here. Oh, and the Twins only won one. I thought they won 2 in a row. No, they only won 1. Shit. Okay. And then before that was the Yankees, then the Reds. Oakland, way back in the 70s, won back to back. Yeah, man.
I knew the A's did it. I knew the A's did win it at one point back to back.
I mean, in the 70s, though. Shit. You know? So, all right. Moving on.
Maybe
the Dodgers will be the next.
Moving on. I still think the Dodgers are in prime position to go ahead and win it back to back again.
Yeah.
They are.
They
are. It's not going to happen, though.
Who's going to take them out? Who's going to take them out right now?
Right now?
Right now, nobody.
Which American League team do you think is going to be able to go up against the Dodgers right now and take them out in a best-of-7 series?
I think that if the Dodgers lose, they lose in a game in a best-of-5 series.
The Dodgers are. They're not going to make it to the World Series.
Okay. I'll put money that the Dodgers don't lose a 7-game series. Any takers? Any takers?
I think the Dodgers are too deep.
Yep. 7, nobody beats them.
They'll lose in a 5-game series.
Yeah, I think they could lose in a 5. And I think it's stupid if they, I don't know, is that same playoff thing still like last year? Okay,
no.
Because that was just stupid. And that one worried me because I was like, oh my God, anybody could win that. That's just.
Yeah, well, I mean, even those 1-game playoff games are kind of annoying too.
Right, yeah.
You know?
I agree. Yep.
Like,
totally agree.
I really feel bad for Oakland because how many times did they freaking lose in that 1-game playoff?
Right. Yeah. I can't remember the last time they won a series, right? Them and the Twins, man. Twins, both of them.
The Twins. Well, and they always lose to the Yankees, dude. Yeah. They always lose to us. Like, we are their kryptonite.
I kind of want to see them play each other. That way one of them fucking at least advances, you know?
Nah, no. The Twins are actually doing bad this year so far.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
In fact, the AL, the Midwest is just, the Central is just not doing very well.
No. Are they the worst division in baseball?
In the American League, I think so, at least.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's freaking rock and roll here. We got to talk about the Tortuga. Somebody's breathing into their mic, and we're gonna go ahead and punch somebody because I know who it is. It ain't Hardy and it ain't
Actually,
me.
No, I'm pacing back and forth.
Oh, I see. It hurts to walk, doesn't it? Position players were pitching a little bit out of the last week or so. There's been a nice little run of position players entering the pitching game over the last week. Of course, it had to do with blowouts and preserving the bullpen. But there was a couple guys that got out there. Who was it? Williams Astudillo. They call him El Tortuga, or La Tortuga is what they call them. He threw a 46. You heard it again, guys. 46-mile-an-hour pitch against my Angels. Had, I think, 1 strikeout and 2 groundouts, which is hilarious. But then Cronenworth did it too, right, Artie?
Yeah, but that dude throws in the 80s, and he was like a all-world closer at his college, man. But, dude, I mean, like, all of a sudden we had a string of them, you know. We had 2 in 1 game for the White Sox. Yermin Mercedes and Danny Mednick for the White Sox, 2 in 1 game, bro. Herman Perez for the Nationals. Dude, that's 9 times this year already that's happened. So is that good or bad for baseball? What do you think?
It's good because you're playing what you play. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You're just trying to put players out there to kind of get through the rest of the game. At that point, I think if you're going to put a position player on the mound at that point, you might as well just be like, hey, guys, you guys won. You're beating us 22-1. So let's just call it a night. All right, guys, 7th inning. Let's get out of here.
Throwing the towel?
I mean, at that point, that's basically what you're doing by throwing in position players to pitch for you. Either they're gonna throw a 46-mile-an-hour little looper and get some guys out, or they're gonna get freaking blasted. But it's one of those things where it's like at that point you've pretty much given up. That's why you're putting in a position player and not bringing in the bullpen guys.
Right.
So why not just be like, all right, guys, let's call it after the 7th inning. Let's go ahead and just call it a night.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Hey, was it one of those games? Musgrove ended up catching the ball in left field or something. Oh,
yeah, that was interesting too. So they put in Musgrove as a defensive replacement. I think they did like a double switch type of thing where they brought in Cronenworth. What's it? How you saying? Cronenworth or whatever.
Cronenworth.
Yeah, brought him into pitch, and then they put Musgrove in left field. That particular one. But here's the even crazier thing. He actually got a play to him. David Price hit a sac fly to him in left field. When was the last time a relief pitcher hit a sac fly to a starting pitcher, dude?
In left field.
That is a trip. In left field. In left field.
And he made the play.
And he made the play. I believe it was David Price's first RBI, Major League RBI.
Getting things done.
Yeah, man. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. Like, I think, I don't know. I was trying to hear a rule that they had. I believe John Smoltz kind of brought it up that they had added like an extra roster spot or something like that for a pitcher, kind of like in the All-Star game for like a dude, so that in case it gets to that point, they throw that guy, and they're talking about like maybe adding that into the mix for regular season. What do you think about that? You've seen that, right? Because remember the All-Star game a few years ago ended in a tie where like both of the managers had to walk over to Bud Selig. It was in Milwaukee, and they walked over and they're like, "Hey, like we don't have anybody else to throw. Like we got to call this game." So they literally just ended the game in a tie. So ever since then, the Major League All-Star has designated like one player from each team. Like they let you add an extra guy on the team, and he's only in case the game goes into extra innings. So like that dude knows he's not going to play unless it goes into like extra innings.
That's interesting, dude. I don't remember that. I don't even remember that, dude. That's crazy.
Oh wow, yeah. Because I mean, it's like it was brutal, ending in time. You're like, oh, what the hell? It felt like a spring training game, when they're just like, all right, well, we got our work in. Time to go home.
All right, guys. It was nice seeing everybody. Have a nice day.
Right? Yeah, man. So that was brutal when they did that. So yeah. So ever since then, they've been adding the extra roster spot. And John Smoltz, I believe I saw something to that effect. He was talking about like, why don't they just do that? What they do in the All-Star game and have an extra slot guy and blah blah blah. That he's just designated for pitching in case they make it into extra innings.
That
I'm
would
like,
be
interesting.
Just have a backup pitcher right there.
Yeah, I guess so. So I don't know.
I'm okay with that rule. I mean, I kind of don't want to be that guy though. Like, hey man, you made the All-Star game, but you're gonna be the guy in case we go to extra innings, which has only happened one time. But you're gonna be that guy. You're gonna be that guy. You're an All-Star, but you're that All-Star.
Yeah, you're that All-Star for sure.
Maybe you don't get the All-Star moniker unless you come into the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe.
Like, dude, you were right there, so we're gonna put you there. And if you come into the game, then bam, you get the All-Star marker. But if not, then thanks for coming out.
Appreciate it. Catch you next year.
There you go. Hey, good luck next year on that one. Speaking of All-Stars, I guess we want to call them that, but Prima Donnas. Prima Bondas? Bonds was called out this last week. Former Marlins president David Sampson called Barry Bonds a prima donna during his tenure with Miami, man. He said it was a complete disaster. He had some pretty big bullet points to talk about Bonds' time in Miami. He said he was very ineffective. He would sleep in the clubhouse. He wouldn't pay attention during the games, and he was a pain in the ass about pay because he knew he had the job, which he called the worst interview he had ever been a part of, or worst interview that he had ever been a part of. How much further is Bonds going to fall before baseball says, hey, man, don't give him any more things to do? Like, I get, like, A-Rod is over there doing announcing and stuff like that, and he got, stonewalled when he tried to buy into a couple different teams. But
he finally got in with the Timberwolves in basketball.
Well, in basketball, but not baseball. Like, baseball's been keeping him at arm's length. Like, you can
agree.
announce.
I like that. Yeah,
can announce and you can be an analyst, but you're not going to be a part of the game. You're gonna call the game, but you're not going to be a part of the game or the organizations. Like, they're keeping him out of there. Whereas with Bonds, they are like, yeah, dude, come on down. You're the, quote unquote, the home run king and yada, yada, yada. And it's just a fucking nightmare. I hope this is a wake up call to the rest of the league and they just like keep him away as well. Like, if he wants to go be an analyst, go be an analyst. But other than that, I mean, stay the fuck away.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was the last time we really see him being a part of something with baseball. I thought the way he was doing that, because I never once heard like players say, oh yeah, man, like I'm so glad, he was a wealth of knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Like when you saw McGuire working as a batting coach, and then I believe he was like a bench coach now, right, with the Padres?
Yeah.
Or has he even switched? I don't know if he's still with the Padres, but I know that's the last time I saw him. But he was getting moved up. He was getting promoted. And you could see that, like, oh man, okay, this dude's doing his job. He's putting in the time. He's doing the grind. And I think Bonds was not doing the grind. And I think that's why they were like, all right, well, you know what? Thanks for coming out, but we're going to go in a different direction. You know? It's not you, it's me.
We're not picking up your option. We're moving in a different direction.
All right.
We gave him the old heave-ho.
All right. Yeah, man. So I thought that was interesting. I really think that's the last time we see him in a uniform, really, like being a part of the actual game.
Honestly, I don't even see him going and being an analyst anymore. I don't think anybody wants that kind of, I don't want to say individual, but I don't think anybody wants that kind of press to have him as an analyst. I think that's why maybe the Marlins were trying to give him a chance. But, you know, it is what it is. You live, you learn, and goodbye, Bonds.
Right.
And he ain't going to be in the Hall of Fame, so there you go with that one, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck with that.
Right. Wasn't there something about somebody refused to pitch the other day? Wasn't that what
it was today.
Oh, was it today?
So it's interesting. You know how there's been a lot of like weather issues in baseball, like, you know, snow. Yeah. Like, dude, there's been so much snow. I don't remember there ever being so much snow in like baseball games. It started with opening day when the Tigers played against somebody. Yeah, they played against somebody, and Miguel Cabrera hit that home run in the snow, right? Like, that was like a beautiful picture. I think you even sent it to me. You know, like,
yeah, he slid into second base because he didn't know where the ball was.
Right, that was great. Right. Yeah. So I just thought that was awesome. But yeah, man, I haven't seen that kind of baseball in a long time, dude. Where like dudes just don't even know where the ball's at and stuff like that. And they're struggling with the elements because baseball's not a sport that you really struggle with the elements because it's their pitchers are having to throw that damn ball and they're coming at you with 90 plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I saw Daniel Bard, who touches 100 miles per hour, was throwing in the snow against Cincinnati, bro. 100 miles per hour throwing in the snow against Cincy. That was one. And then today, I think was another one, too, that kind of hit like a good tipping point. Lucas Sims, who's, you know, known as like an elite reliever, he walked a batter and then on the very next pitch hit a batter. And that ended up being the difference in the game. And it was pouring rain, bro, like pouring. But I think the umpires were trying to get the game in because it was the 8th inning. But Lucas Sims stepped off the mound after hitting the guy. And you could tell, like, dude, I'm going to hit somebody. I could hurt somebody. He stepped off the mound. And he was like, hey, he kind of looked over to the bench like, man, we're not going to call this game. You know, like, just call the game already. And so the umpire did not. His coach came out. The umpire didn't call the game. So then Lucas Sims went back on the mound. And then he was just kind of trying to stall. And he asked for a ball. So then they threw him another ball. And he looked at it. Just you could tell he's kind of playing dumb. And then he threw into the dugout and said, give me another ball. Then he looked at it, a third ball, and he didn't want it. And they said, give me another ball. And then at that point, the umpire comes over and walks to him, and you could tell, like, what's going on? He's like, dude, like, you can see him raising his hands like, man, aren't you going to call the game? Someone's going to get hurt here. And finally, like, his coach came out again and started talking to the umpire and blah, blah, blah. And then that's when they called the grounds crew, bro. And the game went into rain delay. When they came back, they lost that game. Wow. All because of a walked batter when he had no control in a hit by pitch. I want to say it was the first one he's hit this year. So I don't know, man. What do you think about the elements coming into play with baseball?
I don't think, at least I don't remember hearing as much about the elements having such an impact on the game as it has been so far this year. And we're only 3 weeks into the season?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I know that there's been rain delays in the past, and there's been snow delays in the past, and there's been thunderstorms where they pay everybody go inside real quick. The thunder and lightning's hitting real hard right now. So, what was it? The World Series when the what was it? I don't say the earthquake one, but there's another one. I want to say it was the World Series where one of the power transformers blew out and the lights went out. And even then, you know what I mean? Like, so things have happened, but not in such record numbers as it has this year. And it's only 3 weeks into the season. Thankfully, we're getting into the warmer months now. But still, like, we had snow a week ago, and it's April.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know how it is on the East Coast and stuff like that. Maybe Evan can jump in on this one, but I don't remember the last time I heard anybody, at least in the lower 50, if you want to call it that. And talking about we're getting a blizzard in middle April.
Right.
Evan?
Yeah, that's interesting. Did we lose a little guy?
Did we lose the Platano? We may have lost the Platano, or he may have muted himself and not noticed that he came back. Well, I guess we'll get that answer later. But that's my take on that one, dude. Like, I think that's just kind of where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, moving on.
Yeah. What do we got here? You put an interesting note here. Yankees, Astros, Twins, Cards, and Nats are in last place right now. First one.
Four.
First four. On their division, Nats were a World Series champ during the last full season in 2019. Every single one of these teams were doing amazing just about a year or 2 years ago. So, what happened? How's that saying go? How the mighty have fallen?
Yep. Yeah, that's really interesting. Wait, of all those teams, which ones kind of surprised you the most?
Honestly, the Yankees.
Yeah, I would say the Yankees,
too. The Yankees are the biggest surprise so far in the 2021 season that I'm just like, how are you this bad? Like, what?
Yeah. And they haven't really dealt with a lot of injuries, too. That's kind of like my reasoning as well. Like, why are you doing so bad, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they've had a couple little things here and there, but nothing that's like season-altering injury, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I would say them too, because the Nationals, they're dealing with injuries. Cardinals too, maybe, I guess. They're not dealing really with any injuries, and they got a new player, Arenado, who's supposed to really turn things around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Twins, I think, too, same thing. They're pretty healthy. Astros, I'm just glad they're doing bad.
I mean, I think nobody's going to bat an eye other than Astros fans who are in denial. Are going to be like, oh, no, the Astros are doing terrible right now. I think everybody else is just kind of like, good. The baseball gods are finally coming on at you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Speaking of baseball gods and sports gods, to get off topic real quick, the golf gods got me this last week, didn't they?
Jeez, they got all of us, though, man. I didn't do too hot either.
But, I mean, I had my very first par. I parred a hole.
Oh, you did?
And I almost had a birdie. And I accidentally walked over your line, and you literally said it. Watch.
Oh, that's
you
right.
walked my line, bro, and watch. And I missed the ball, and I was like, I missed the hole, and I was like, okay, I'll go in for par. And then I missed it again.
Yeah.
And I went in for a bogey. Like, I was so upset, man. Like, but guys, the sports gods are real. Don't piss them off.
Yeah, don't walk on people's lines, man. Don't walk on people's lines. And not only that, you walked on mine and the other dudes.
Yeah, that was my bad. I did apologize, and that's my bad. If you guys play golf, you know what we're talking about. If you don't play golf, it's all right. Start playing. You can come play with us once in a while.
That's right. That's
what happened in Colorado is going to get the All-Star game now, right?
Right. Colorado's got the All-Star game because of the whole. I don't know. I've been reading about it, and I don't know what to think. You know, again, I don't know all the details of the whole law change on voting and stuff like that.
Right.
Over in Atlanta, but basically MLB's protesting that, and they took it out of Atlanta, and they're making last-second changes, and I think it's going to Colorado. I believe is what I saw.
Yeah, it's going to.
And I think the reason they're doing Colorado is because Colorado was already prepping to host the minor league All-Star game, so they're like, well, they're already getting ready anyways, and blah blah blah. So might as well just switch it there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then, anyways, last year there was no All-Star game, so that means everything from the year before kind of still carries over. And the reigning champ for the home run derby is Pete Alonso, I believe, is what is saying here, the defending champ. So he said he's in. Count him in for the home run derby. So my question to you, Brent,
yes, sir,
is what players would you like to see in the home run derby that have not been in the home run derby?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I would love to see Ohtani in that thin air.
Ooh, yes.
I would love to see him just rake on some things. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who else would I like to watch? I think Tatis would be an interesting one just because I think every time he'd hit a home run, he'd be like jumping up and down and flipping bats and stuff like that. But, we'll have to wait and see. Ozuna, if he can figure out how to hit a baseball the right way again, would be interesting. I mean, he was the batting champ a year ago, 2 years ago.
He was. I want to say he led the league in RBIs and home runs.
Yeah, so he'd be interesting. He'd be good to watch there in the thin air. I mean, pretty much anybody who's got some pop. I mean, Judge, if he's healthy enough, or Stanton, who can just really wallop a ball and just put it in the parking lot somewhere. You know what I mean? With that thin air, you want those guys that can just turn on a fucker. You know what I mean? That would be, to me, Ohtani, Judge, Stanton, Ozuna. Shit, man. Sal Perez can even rake him too if he really got. I don't think he's gonna do it, but he would be a good one. A Muncy. I would love to see Max go in there, Turner to go in there. They can really put on a show if they wanted to. And with Turner leaving the jersey button down to midway and just having that, just showing it off and shit like that, man, hitting bombs.
Right.
I mean, it'd be pretty damn awesome. Arenado hitting over there. I mean, who do you say? Who would be your top three guys that you would be like, I want to watch these guys in Colorado hitting fucking in the home run derby?
For sure, I really like the Ohtani one. I would love to see Ohtani. That's one dude that I'm just like, man, he'd be fun to watch for sure. I don't know if he's done one, but maybe like a Ronald Acuna would be pretty fun too. That dude drop some bombs, you know. Nelson Cruz, you know,
he still got some pop.
Nelson Cruz. Trying to think. I would say Acuna and Ohtani would probably be the dudes at the top of my list. I would say. I think. Trying to think of a third. Acuna and Ohtani. Just dudes that just devour the ball or crush. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe a Freddie Freeman. I don't know. He doesn't crush the ball that much. So Soto? Yeah, Soto would be nice. He's interesting. A Chris Bryant, maybe? That's a big dude that could probably hit a mile, you know?
Yeah, like because it's in Colorado, I want to see those guys that when they get a hold of a ball, they put it in the next atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So now there was an All-Star game in Colorado. Okay. So can you tell me who the home run derby champ was that year? For the All-Star game in Colorado.
In Colorado? I could honestly, I'm not even going to guess because I couldn't tell you.
Would it help if I told you he was a former Angel?
A former Angel. Interesting. Yep. Interesting. Garrett Anderson?
No, good guess. So I like it. Good guess. Garrett won it, I think, in Boston. I believe it was.
He won in one of those. Yeah. That's as soon as you said that, it popped in my head. I was like, oh, is it Anderson? Who else, man? It's not Vlad?
No, he wasn't an Angel when he won it. He was former Angel.
He is a former Angel.
Yeah. Maybe if I give you the team that he was on when he won it. How about that?
Go for it.
When he won it, he was on the Baltimore Orioles.
The unfortunate signing that we had when we got Pujols. It is his name is on the tip of my tongue. My dad's gonna be yelling at me right now. I know it. Josh Hamilton.
Nope.
What?
Hamilton won, but Hamilton won it before he was an Angel. And I guess technically he would, a former Angel, but he was not an Angel at the time. Are they still paying his contract? He's still an Angel?
No, he's not an Angel anymore. Leave him alone.
I was just asking. Yeah, I don't know, dude. So you give up?
I do.
Outfielder, big dude. I think he played right or left field.
Who? Mo Vaughn?
No, Mo Vaughn was first baseman. Right-handed, I said too. Mo Vaughn's the lefty.
Lefty, yeah. I don't know, man. Who is it?
Nah, I forgot his name. No, I'm just kidding. Mark Trumbo.
Was it Trumbo?
Yeah, Trumbo, bro.
I remember Trumbo in Kansas City. He hit one so far. I remember the announcer was like, "This one's on its way to Wichita." He hit it so hard.
That's funny.
It was on top of like the back end of the stadium. It was on the roof over there. It was like 489 feet or some stupid freaking number. They were like, nobody's even gonna get that ball. Ball's gonna stay there forever. There's no even way to get up there.
Yeah, no, that was
Trumbo
Trumbo.
had some pop, man.
Yeah, he did. Hell yeah, he did.
What do we got here? I like this one because we talk about as baseball being a romantic sport, just a poetic journey through spring, summer, and the beginning of fall. You know what I mean? And I think nothing. If you don't watch the game, if you don't have love of the game, you don't understand it as much. But Artie, I want you to talk about this because I think you would probably say it more eloquently than I would. This little spot.
Well, like you said, what's a famous line, Brent? Who says baseball isn't romantic?
It is. Everybody should
from what work? No, what is that from? What's that famous line?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh my god, I'm so disappointed.
The Rookie?
No, your favorite movie.
Oh, the Sandlot.
Moneyball.
Oh, is it?
Do you remember the scene now?
Who said baseball isn't romantic? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's back to where it all started, bro. Bo Bichette was playing against the Red Sox on the road in Fenway, and he hit a ball so far that it clearly left the stadium, Fenway Park. It hit the cement, landed, and rolled to a gym right where his parents first met. His dad, in case you guys don't know, is Dante Bichette, who played for the Red Sox once upon a time. He made his bones, or his name, playing for the Rockies, but he finished up his career, I believe, with the Red Sox. And yeah, dude, and he met his wife, who they had Bo Bichette with, right there at that gym. So interesting, just interesting.
I mean, it's amazing how the baseball gods taketh and they also giveth.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that's, I mean, how can you not think that baseball isn't romantic? How can you? I mean, that's where I had my first kiss on with my future wife here.
With your boo?
With my boo. Middle of the second inning, I turned around and gave her a big old smooch. So it was at Angel Stadium when the Angels were playing the Dodgers. Angels won that day. We had a couple other kisses at the end of the game with the fireworks going off. But baseball,
tell me more. Tell me more.
I remember going to a game with my compadre before he was my compadre for Memorial Day, I believe it was. He took me out there, and we sat in those the club lodge seats or whatever. And it was back in the day when you had those little passes in the whole 9 yards.
That's right.
And it was an amazing day, and I thank you, consistently for that, and hopefully we get to go watch some more games like that. But baseball it's a beautiful game, man. It's a 9-inning symphony of just up and downs and some little plateaus, and then it gets crazy, and then it calms down. And if you guys need to watch more baseball. Damn it, watch more baseball. For love of the game. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? I know we talk about other sports here and there, and we are going to touch on a couple things, but baseball is the main reason why me and Artie came together for the Blown Save podcast. Obviously, it's called the Blown Save. You know what I mean? So, and originally it was supposed to be the Foul Tip, but some other guys had the name. But now, so we stuck with the Blown Save. So, fucking baseball's amazing, guys. We had speaking of baseball gods giving. Now we got to talk about baseball gods taking it away. I guess they kind of gave and took away.
Yeah, an amazing play that you're kind of talking about is I saw an amazing play that I just thought was really cool. So the first triple play of the season was happened with Joey Votto.
Set it up.
So
for
he
us.
turned. Yeah, so he He turned a game-saving triple play against the Indians. Here's the setup for it. It was 1st and 3rd, and then a line drive was hit to his non-glove side. So he's right-handed, so it was hit to his right-hand side. He kind of dove or lunged and made the catch. The runner kind of broke initially, so then he had to try to get back to the base. Joey Votto was going to try to dive back to the base and touch him, and then noticed the guy was right next to him diving, so he just kind of leaned over in mid-dive and tagged him. But check this out. The runner at 3rd, I think he thought it might have been on a skip or a hop or something like that. That dude didn't even tag. He just took off from 3rd base.
He broke home?
Yeah, he went home. So Joey Votto gets up, and he's like, hey, did he tag? Did he tag? And then they're like, I don't think so, blah, blah, blah. So then he gets the ball and throws it over to 3rd base, and boom, they're out of the inning. That was really interesting. But here's a more interesting part. Did you know that if Votto had walked over to touch 3rd base, it would have been an unassisted triple play?
I was literally just thinking about that when you were talking about that. I'm like, dang, if he would have just touched 3rd base, that would have been an unassisted triple play.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened in the history of baseball?
Yes, it has. It is one of the rarest, if not the rarest, feats in baseball. How many times do you think it's happened in the history of baseball?
Unassisted triple play, I want to say 4 times.
No, more.
More? Oh,
yeah.
Man. 12?
A little bit more.
15.
Yes, sir. 15 times. And it hasn't happened in nearly a decade.
Wow.
Nearly a decade.
That's
wild
to me, man. I don't you know, in a decade, I don't remember within the last 10 years. I don't remember it happening. You know what I mean? What was going on 10 years ago?
I remember the first time I saw it happen. That like it kind of caught my attention at first. Mickey Morandini turned one for the Phillies back in I think the 90s, and that's when I first heard about them being so rare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And usually the way they happen when it's unassisted is like the runners are in motion, and the shortstop gets a line drive hit at them, and they touch second base, and the guy is running towards them at second base, and they just tag the guy instead of throwing it. That's usually the way it happens when it's unassisted, because they hit a line drive, it's a hit and run, shortstop gets it, touches second, and tags the runner as he's coming over to them from first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, in my head, I still remember clearly Mickey Morandini did that. Yeah.
That's wild, man. I honestly, I couldn't tell you if you paid me $1 million and I said, tell me the last time, or give me one of the unassisted triple plays that have happened. One of the 15. I couldn't for $1 million. I couldn't tell you who was the last person or who anybody was who did an unassisted triple play. So does that make me a bad baseball person? Nah, I just don't know those kind of stats on that one. If you guys ever go to a bar and it comes up, now you guys know.
All right.
Trivia night, baby. Here you go. We should have a trivia night and just have people that we know on, and we got to ask them questions, and they got to figure it out. And then that'd be pretty fun, I think. Ideas for the future. There you go.
Maybe we could take a shot if they're right or wrong. Like maybe you take a shot or something.
There you go.
Those side bets.
I like it. All right, let's dip into. You got anything else for baseball before we dip into the last 2 games?
It was just kind of a slow week. I didn't see anything too hot going out there. You know, just normal, good old baseball. I didn't see anything too wild. You know,
me neither, man. Honestly,
just some good baseball. A lot of postponements. I think that's kind of interesting. A lot of injuries happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I don't see nothing else.
There you go. You know what? I was going to ask you something. Somebody brought up, I forget, it was on a thread or I saw it on I heard it on another podcast or something. But they were talking about, the whole situation with the COVID stuff and games getting postponed because of COVID. At what point do you think baseball is going to either lengthen the time of the season as far as the days go, not necessarily the games, but adding in some extra maybe off days or adding some extra travel days, or implementing a forfeiture of games when it comes to the whole COVID situation. I know we're on the way out, hopefully, and everything will go back to what we would like to say is normal in the next year or so. But if it doesn't, and things kind of continue where they're at, kind of like right now, kind of, you know, where it's at, where do you think this goes with baseball? Do you think they maybe extend the length of the season, like I said, adding in those travel days or adding off days to kind of coincide with having to put in and have a postponed game put in one of those off days or whatever? Or do you think they had the opposing team could be like, hey, each team gets 3 forfeitures from another team from COVID? If the game's postponed, then they're unable to find a time to redo that team or redo that game. Do you think they get they can dip in and be like, okay, well, they need to forfeit that game. That's one of we're going to pick up that win because they forfeit. Like, where do you think this is going? Do you think it's not even going to need to get to that point, or do you think it's something that maybe Major League Baseball needs to look into?
So I think here's a little solution. I mean, I could be wrong, but just an idea. I think that the team that catches COVID and stuff like that should have to forfeit the series, but only lose 1 game on the forfeit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So not all of it, just part of it. So like if it's a 3-game series, you lose for basically every 2 for 1. So like if it's a 2-game series, it's one loss of a forfeit. If it's a 4-game, then 2 losses, something like that.
I'm okay with that.
That would be, and then, because, I mean, just make it up, you know, it's not going to make that big of a difference in the standings, you know? Or maybe not even play them again if it doesn't make a difference in the standings. But if it does, then fucking play them at the end of the year, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's what I was saying, like maybe adding some time at the end or time throughout the year. Add a couple extra, maybe 5 extra days off or 5 extra travel days or kind of, you know, mix and match there. So it'll be to be able to accommodate those delays or whatever. But at some point, you got to be like, all right, man, like at this point, you got to just give up, you know, a game or 2 and call it a day and move on from there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Let's touch on some NFL and some, if you want to call it boxing here, in boxing news. Alex Smith has finally retired, man. Comeback player of the year. He had quite a career. Always felt like he was an undervalued quarterback. He did get bumped a few different times, and he always did very well no matter where he went. He wasn't elite, if you want to call it that, but he did a really good job of managing teams and managing games, right?
Right.
He caught some bad breaks. Well, literally, like you put it. He almost lost his leg at that point, but he made one of the most impressive comebacks in NFL history last year. One of the things that has been floating around, and we've talked about it, is renaming the Comeback Player of the Year award the Alex Smith Award. And I, for one, am saying, fuck yeah, let's do it. Artie, do I have your same sentiment?
I like it too. You know, it's a dude that he has a good story. Do you remember he was drafted? So I don't want to say like that he got the most out of his talent. The dude was top 2 picks. I don't remember if he was a number 1 overall pick or not.
He was up there. I don't think he was number 1, but I know he was up there. I want to say
top
5.
He was up there. Yeah, top 3, I think for sure. But you're right, top 5. And so I'm just like, man, I don't want to say he got the most out of his talent. But I just felt like he was kind of undervalued a lot. A lot of people didn't respect him just because he wasn't like a gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was never a gunslinger. He's a dude that I don't know if he ever threw 30 touchdowns in a season. But yeah, man, I really like what he was a game manager. You know, he was like a throwback to like a Troy Aikman type of a thing.
He was a solid freaking quarterback, man.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, man, I'd be cool, especially with the story of breaking his leg and stuff like that, and coming back to even play when they thought they might even have to amputate his leg. You know, like that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, man, give the man the rename that thing after him. You know,
yeah, give him the recognition he so absolutely deserves. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree.
The draft's coming up next weekend, not this weekend. So next week we'll have to touch on the draft and who we think people are picking up. At least the first round. We'll talk about who's coming up and who we think is going to go there. So I challenge you, Artie, to do a little research And
okay, I will.
At least for that first round, because we're going to be talking fantasy football around the corner already. So,
right, for sure.
The only other thing we got going on right now that was announced in boxing world, June 5th, which is going to be a great day. It's been set. The Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul fight. What is happening to the world of boxing? Like, legitimately, what is happening to the world of boxing? That a person like Logan Paul can go out there and just make money. And if we've seen Floyd Mayweather fight, and we have seen Floyd Mayweather fight, this fight's going to last 10 rounds because Floyd Mayweather is going to be dancing around that goddamn ring the entire time. I do not think Floyd Mayweather is going to go in there with the intent to knock him out. He's going to go in there with the intent to try and school him and show him what boxing's about and just beat him on points. I know the world is going to want to see him knock him out, but, oh, man. Yeah, on the off chance, and I doubt it, on the off chance, though, that Logan Paul sits Floyd Mayweather down, it's going to be fucking interesting to hear what the backlash is about it. It's actually going to be the day of the wedding, so if anything, I'll see if we can put it up on the projector to watch somebody go down. We'll see what happens.
Stream it.
I know. We got this. Hey, just throw us up there, DJ. Don't worry about it. But it'll just be interesting. I think the whole YouTubers fighting other YouTubers, that was one thing. Challenging a couple like older like athletes, he would not Nate. I was gonna say Nate Burleson, but Logan Paul fought that former defensive back or whatever, and he got his ass knocked out. But Logan Paul is like a legit fighter, and I won't say legit, but he's been training now for a good couple years. So if anybody goes in there who doesn't know what they're doing, Logan Paul's gonna fuck you up. Like, let's stop fucking around at this point. Like, he's been fighting now for about 2.5 years. And all he's been doing is working on his fighting. So if you take somebody, I don't care how athletic you are, in whatever sport you're in, if you're going into a boxing ring against somebody who's been training for at least 2 years and you haven't done anything but like maybe 3 months training for this, I don't care how athletic you are, you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Right, I agree.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Floyd Mayweather does, but I honestly think it's going to be a boring fight, as most Floyd Mayweather fights are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be a boring fight. I'm not with it at all. If anything, I think Floyd might knock that dude out because he tends to do well with dudes that aren't like real fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because they get frustrated with them, and then they just kind of get their guard down.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to be at the edge of my seat. I got other things going on that day. But it'll be interesting if to catch the replay or the highlight, because the only highlight that I want to see is somebody getting knocked out. So, Anywho, that's it for us this show. My mom's birthday is this weekend, so happy early birthday to my mama. She was actually happy late birthday to my mom. Her birthday was yesterday on the 21st, but we're gonna have a little barbecue on Saturday for her. So we got a few things going on. So happy birthday, mama! Thank you for being amazing, awesome, and a pain in my butt sometimes, but still, I love you, mom.
Yeah, and happy date anniversary to you and the wifey.
Thank you. Tomorrow, the 23rd, will be exactly 5 years to the day that I asked my boo, my wife, to be my girlfriend, and she never lets me forget it. She never lets me forget it. She's like, "What day? Did you tell me?" And we made it. It was like super official. It was like Facebook official that day too.
Damn. Yeah, wow. What made you change it and everything, huh?
I know, right? I was like, hey, that was the beginning of everything for me. But anywho, anything else before we get out of here, compadre?
Not that I could think of, man. That's all I could think of. It's yeah, man. That's all I could think of. Right
on, guys. That's all we got for you guys this weekend. Catch us on MLB The Show 21. If you guys want to play against us, if you guys want to have a chance to beat somebody, go ahead and hit me up. If you guys want to get your asses handed to you by one of Artie's super teams, then hit up Artie. But other than that, we're having a good time. We'll do some more streaming. We'll play some more video games live for you guys, so you guys can kind of play along with us and kind of see what we're doing. And really, I would love to have a stream with you, Artie, where you kind of just talk about how your getting all the 42 guys and your strategy as far as the flipping items and stuff like that, because you have, oh my God, so many stubs. Like, I look up and I look at my stubs and I'm like at 38,000, and I look at yours, you're probably like at 180,000, and I'm like, how the hell did this happen?
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so I bet. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I could definitely do that. It'd be fun.
All right, let's hear that patented Artie goodbye.
Yeah, man. Let's wash our hands, wear our masks, and be safe out there. Get that vaccine if you wanna, and let's get this country going in the right direction. I start work next week officially, where I'm back on campus for 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and then I go back with students a week after. So, wish me luck, everybody.
Good luck, compadre. Guys, make sure you guys do follow us on social media. You know where it's at. Instagram, Twitter. Follow us everywhere you guys are going. If you guys don't know exactly where all that stuff is, go to www.theblownsavepodcast.com. You go to Google, you could find us pretty quickly. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. Thanks to all the friends that hit me up, text messages and all that stuff, telling us to keep doing what we're doing. We're trying. We're doing what we can. We are only 2 men, but we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Be all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next week.